Good morning, this is Jack from Charting Markets, and this is the Premarket webinar for the morning of Friday, the 3rd of October. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right, first thing to say today is that the other bullish day this week was today. And I've got that pretty strongly bullish at about 71.4% green closes. And that is something I'm watching out carefully today. I've got to say, I'm not really seeing that in the tape. We will see. I mean, here on ES, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fix. We've got a little double top here, which could take us back to a back test of the week pivot at 66.92. And I'm wondering if we might do that today. But the stats are actually leaning fairly strongly long today, but we'll see. NQ, we've got a nice looking little double top here too. I'm not talking about the main possible large double top here. I'm talking about the smaller one here. Again, this could break down with a target pretty close to the weekly pivot at 24.725. A little bit above it. I think it'd be more like 24.7 as 24.780 or 790, I think. But again, I'm wondering about it. Looking at RTY, no negative divergence here. This is still a possible head and shoulders here, although YM is tipping over into more likely to see a retest, but this could still be a head and shoulders. I am wondering, because if we have a weak day today, then we've got potentially quite a lot of negative divergence and some nice topping patterns. And obviously, with the government shutdown and no immediate sign that that's going to be changing soon, the longer the government shutdown goes on, the more likely it is we're going to see weakness on equities. So we will see how that develops. Looking at DAX, we've got a weak 60-minute sell signal as fix. Obviously, we've basically got back and retested these highs, so we will see. Possible little bit of topping action here too. ESTX wondering about topping action. No current negative divergence at the moment, but it's all looking a little fragile. So hang on, right, bear with me a second. Sorry, I've forgotten to open up my equities charts, so bear with me a moment. All right, just open up these in the background as well. All right. Okay, looking at the bigger picture, we've obviously got a possible RSI 14 sell signal brewing on SPX. We've got another one possibly brewing on ES. We've got another one possibly brewing on the Qs. And of course, we've already got a daily sell signal fixed on the RSI 14 on Dyer, and we've got a weak one fixed on IWM as well. That's quite a lot of negative divergence, and I'm wondering if we might start seeing that playing out next week. In terms of the in terms of the hourly chart, we've got possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing. We've got this here, it's the buy signal that's reached target. So we're not going to get an RSI 14 sell signal on here, but we do have one brewing on the Qs chart. But short term, potential little level top here. I am wondering about possibly seeing some weakness today. In terms of the 15-minute, here we haven't got the nice looking double top that we've got on the futures charts. We saw that overnight. So the question is whether we're going to see that in the morning. We're already coming quite hard off the overnight highs, so that's looking a bit more doubtful. Looking at the Qs, I've got a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing here, where we're not at the stage where we can see a 60-minute sell signal on the RSI 14. We've got nothing on the 15-minute really. Again, we didn't. The retest of the high was overnight, not yesterday. On Dyer, nothing to mention really. Possible head and shoulders here, but we're getting a little higher. Well, I am wondering about a retest of this high, and it may be that we're just going to see a retest of the high today if the historical stats do deliver. In terms of the hang on, IWM chart. Right, looking at the daily charts, we're still on a weak RSI 14 sell signal, of course, holding the daily middle band. On the hourly chart, no current divergence. We did have a possible RSI 5 sell signal brewing, but we don't have one now. On the 15-minute, nothing, and we've still got a pretty decent looking possible head and shoulder setup here, which hasn't deteriorated yet, but much higher, and it will start doing so. Looking at DAX, we're pretty close to a retest of the all-time high at 24.6K. We got to say this is looking a little stretched. I'm just going to show you how stretched. Let's just sort of bear with me a moment. This is a stage where really I'd be pretty much actively looking for a retracement here. You can see we've got the 3SD upper bound close at 24,405, and actually the close yesterday on DAX was above it. That is very, very stretched short term, and I am wondering about a bit of a retracement, although I am liking a retest of the high at 24.6k later. Nikkei is holding the daily middle band, and we've done the sell signal, basically made target on the RSI 5. We've tested the daily middle band. That is the obvious support. I was wondering if it might go a little lower and we get to this trend line. It could do that later, but in the short term, it's got down to that. It's bounced. Next obvious target would be a retest of the high. All right, great. Let's have a look at DX. Now, I was talking about the possibility we might see a breakdown yesterday into a retest this low. That's not looking encouraging. This little head and shoulders that broke down failed. EURUSD, we had an inverted head and shoulders that broke up and failed. GBP USD, we had an inverted head and shoulders that broke up and failed. Obviously, there's a theme developing here. So that's looking less likely than it was. And really, in terms of failure like this, you'll generally see a move back up to retest the high from here. And that would be my lean. ZB, we've got a little double bottom that has broken up here with a target in the, I think that's 117.28 to 118.05 area. That's heading towards the target, and at the moment I'm seeing no particular reason to think that it won't get there. I'm thinking it might go further though, because here on ZN we've got a very nice looking IHS which has formed after this very possible bull flag, but definite falling wedge had broken up. So this is basically close to breaking up with a target at a retest of this high. That's the obvious place for bonds to be going. All right, CL. I was wondering about the degree of the rejection when we broke up over the range, and we've now broken below the range. The range was from 61 to 65.5. This was us going a buck over it, and this is us going almost a buck under it. 60-minute buy signals fixed days ago on the oils and have delivered absolutely nothing. And I am wondering about, on the bigger picture, retest the lows. Now, I'm just going to take a quick diversion into the oils and look at the bigger picture here, because this is along the lines of something that I've been talking about for a while. All right, let's have a look at WTIC first. Now, on the bigger picture, we've got a falling wedge that is broken up, and I'm looking for a reversal pattern. Now, on WTIC, this could be an IHS, but equally, I was saying that I'd prefer to see a retest of the low. Now, we could still see this as an IHS, but really, the obvious sequence here, this is a bullish setup. I'm looking for a reversal pattern, and then I'm looking for a fairly sizable move up. We may not see that, and honestly, the economic fundamentals are suggesting we might well not see that. But this is a bullish setup, and until then, that needs to be respected as long as it lasts. And I often see these deliver, even when there doesn't seem to be any particularly obvious reason for it. We've got the same setup overall on heating oil, on WTIC, and on gas oil. In the short term, heating oil, possible IHS forming, and that's still possibly forming, but we can see retest to the low. But the exception was gas oil. Gas oil, I was saying, was forming a pretty clear bear flag, and I was expecting that to play out. So I was leaning towards that, delivering retest to the low across the board. But this bear flag has broken out. It's broken down. The target was a retest to the low here of September 2024, and we've done it. That flag is, we've now got a potential level bottom here. So what I'm thinking here is either we could make a low here, the IHSs on WTIC and heating oil break up, and the double bottom on gas oil break up, or we could go lower, retest the lows on WTIC and heating oil and form something else. But this is a significant inflection point, and I just wanted to be aware of that. All right, let's have a look at natural gas. Natural gas, these are all, by the way, still on buy signals, which have still delivered nothing, but haven't quite failed. All right, NG, we've got a double bottom here, which is breaking up. We're seeing a bit of a retrace. That is normal. So unless it could be that this is about to fail, but as I said, we're in a period where we would expect to see this go up about $1 just on the seasonals over the next couple of months. So this double bottom here does not look unreasonable, with the target in the 3.8 to 3.828 range. Watching that with interest, I have actually just spotted that I did have a little sell signal here, which has made which is making target at the moment. It's only small. It's only a technical thing, really. GC is failing to come down much so far. SI, we had a breakdown from the little level top and a strong rejection, which has taken it back almost to the high. That's not particularly encouraging for a trace here. This very much looks like a bull flag forming, and it looks as though it may be ready to break up. This looks like a bull flag, and it is breaking up on platinum. There's a theme developing here, obviously, which is that short term, it looks like retest the highs and then maybe a retracement, but obviously maybe not. We've seen a very, very extended strong move up here, and there's no strong sign that that is ending. HG is going a little higher here. This is looking less like the bull flag this has been looking like for months. Watching this with great interest, but at the moment we do not have a decent bull flag from the low, and bear flag, and this may not be a bear flag. I'm not really seeing anything else obvious for it to be, though. We shall see. All right, looking at KC, 6-minute buy signals reached possible near miss target. IHS broke up and immediately failed. I've got to say that does leave me with a lean for a retest of this low here in the 350 area. On sugar. Sugar is crawling up. We've still got a nice IHS target up here in the 16.82 area, and possible larger double bottom resistance in about the 15.86 area. Looking at CC, we had a nice looking falling wedge. It was holding support, and then it broke support. I've drawn in a possible channel support down here. We could be forming an alternative pattern, or we could just be heading down. CC, I was talking about this on the bigger picture chart and saying that obviously it's pretty overvalued by historical standards. And it may well actually just go down and get back and revert to the mean. We've got a similar setup on KC if that just keeps sliding. CT, possible bottoming action here, but I'm leaning towards the downside. I think on the bigger, it looks like it wants a retest of the bigger picture low, which is still somewhat lower. Lumber, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. We've got an IHS, a double bottom, which hasn't quite made target. Leaning towards it, came close to target, and that might be close enough. But at the moment, obviously, we've not turned back down. Bigger picture, we've got a big double top, which is broken down, and I'm expecting that to resume. CW, nice looking double bottom here. We will see how that develops on corn. This looks like a bull flag megaphone, and I think that's likely because that's what it is. We had a classic underthrow here. We're heading back up to flag resistance. I think this is a bull flag. So we will see how that develops, but if it is a bull flag, then it should result in a retest of this high here in about the 431 area. So leaning towards that happening in the absence of any evidence to the contrary. On soy, we got another megaphone here. It's not a bull flag because it's too large, but we've got, see this little pullback here? We've got a lovely little IHS here, and that's broken up with a target in about the 1047 area. So I'm leaning towards that heading up to the target as well. ZL, this looks like a bear flag forming and is failing at the monthly pivot at the moment. Live cattle. This little double bottom is failing. It may be that this is going to, sometimes you see a triangle extend a bit lower and turn into a flag. I'm wondering if that's going to be the case here. Lean Hogs has broken down for a double top, and I was looking for potential support at this rising support trend line, and it's broken. I'm thinking we're probably going to make this target, but keeping an open mind below that. All right, great. Let's have a look at, well, actually, no. Cryptos I'll cover in the next webinar. But in that case, that's a wrap. Let's have a quick look at questions, of which we have none. Everyone have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. And I'm about to post the crypto webinar. All right, cheers. Take care.